welcome and give you this opportunity of feedback. So if you want to, it's not mandatory, but if you feel you want to say anything, I'm open to it.
I would like to say a few words. Well, I'd like to thank the community of Indy here in Central Florida. It was really an honor for me to be over here. And I teach history, religion, the humanities, and so on. And I do spend several days on Central Asian history, religion, and arts, which I respect very much. And being also specialized in the late Middle Ages, early Renaissance, I can find many congruencies. That is detailed, integral communication between a Western world and a Central Asian world. You've heard about the Renaissance, yes?
Yeah.
Sure. Yes. You've heard about it. Okay. It's a term that is traditionally bestowed to an incredible era of intellectual and artistic output, of talent and energy that accompanies Europe, at least, from the Middle Ages to the modern era. One of the greatest, maybe one of the most sensational philosophers of the Renaissance, to which we owe our Western culture, and yet this individual was highly, highly knowledgeable in Eastern cultures, is Pico della Mirandola. I don't know if you've ever heard about him. A genius. Born in Rome, he dies at 37, in Florence. And in Rome, he comes out, he is the first genius of the Renaissance. We're talking about the late 15th century, which declares that human intellect is a sign of divine truth. And I've seen this on and on today, and I also speak about it when I speak about Hinduism. Okay, which intellect, yes, is maybe the most important gift that is given to us by God. Okay, undoubtedly. Okay, we are free to use it as we want. Okay, and it can make man itself a creator too. And I see this logically in how a teacher responds to his students and so on. And Pico della Mirandola, unfortunately, when he comes out with this idea, we're looking at the 1480s, late 1480s, Pope Innocent VIII calls him under interrogation. So he has to defend himself. How can a human being place himself almost at the same level of God by expressing his own intellect? He was ready to logically take on his case, be his own lawyer. And I know that you've heard about the great Medici family, yes, okay? They defined the color of the Renaissance itself. And Lorenzo, il Magnifico, the Medici, okay, invites, logically, Pico della Mirandola to Florence. There he's free to think whatever he wants. He's a Christian anyway. And he publishes, and if you're interested to read this, because it communicates much with many of the teachings of the Book of Vedas as well, which Pico knew about, and he publishes his Oration on the Dignity of Man. The Oration on the Dignity of Man, if you're interested to read it, he didn't complete the whole thing, he dies at 37, but this is a book that communicates well with much of the Hindu teachings as well, because at the end he says that man is a miracle himself. He's truly a marvelous creation. Okay? And he is possessed and he's free to exercise his free will as he wants. And free will is a sign of intellect. Free will is a sign of God itself. This is what I wanted to say. Just to communicate between West and Central Asia, there are a lot of connections.
Good point.
Thank you, Dr. Priyasa. Is there anybody else that wants to say a few words?
I just want to quickly say I'm very honored to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. An honor to be here. It's very overwhelming and wonderful to be here with you today.
I thank Nareshji. Abhinavji, namaskar. Namaskar, Bhaviji. They were the first ones to know me 25 years ago in Florida. Teaching is imparting what your gurus have taught you. This is what I believe. So it's very easy if you have respected him or respected them. The next teacher is your mother. How much respect she has commanded and how much respect she has imparted by being a mother makes a child very easily tolerable by us teachers. So I would say it is a very, very honorable profession, no matter what form of subject you teach, because I taught physics and math for 25 years as a teacher before when I took up Bharatanatyam as it. If a potter gets clay, he makes an excellent pot. If a potter gets sand, he deals with it. There's no other choice. The valedictorian graduates with a special needs child in the same school is what I have learned here, unlike in India, where the best got the best treatment and the others were crawling behind them. So today, in an audience that I have here, I want to impart this knowledge that I have. Every child is precious. Every child has her own intellect that the teacher has to deal with. And every child here has taught me something or the other. That's so much more respectable that I've gained beyond my guru's teachings. So I thank God that I'm a good teacher, maybe a good teacher. But I'm thankful to God that He made me a teacher. I would love to be born again as a teacher every birth that I take. Thank you so much.
It's very much an honor and pleasure to be here. And as Akshai's teacher is kind of saying it, I've learned so much from the students as well as just being part of teacher. Sometimes I feel like he can teach the class himself when he comes on. But it's very much an honor, and I'm appreciated to be here. And thank you all so much.
I just want to say thank you to Vishan and Samira for inviting me. I learned something from you today, and I'm very honored to be here.
I would like to say also thank you to Sunil for inviting me. I teach 6th grade world history, so we talk about Hinduism in class, and this has been a really beneficial experience to me to kind of see some of the practice firsthand, so I can take it back to my students, and just feel like I definitely learned something here today as well. So thank you, Sunil.
Thank you, Naresh, and to everyone for organizing this beautiful event, and it's a pleasure to be here. Almost every student here learns Hindi at Balagokulam. I thank you all students for your attention in the class and for being such good students. Thank you.
If there is anybody else in the audience that has any words to say, then I will give them before I go to the conclusion of prayer of peace. If anybody else that would like to speak? So now we call our regional coordinator, Yashwantji, to give a word of thanks, and then we will conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Okay?
Namaste everybody. So, I have never done the vote of thanks. And it is very tough for me to be here at this time because I am a teacher too. So how can I, and teachers, they don't need thanks, means it's our duty. Yes, we keep on giving and giving and giving. But formalities are such that yes, we have to openly, formally say that yes, we are very much thankful for all the teachers, those who are here. This is the first time in this Central Florida area we are conducting this type of Guru Vandana program. As Abhinavji was telling, that in India it is done during the month of June, July. But over here in United States, we are doing the Teachers Appreciation Week in the first and the second week of May. And that is why we chose these particular dates all over United States to come out and appreciate our teachers in a more deeper way. All over United States. Last time when I got the counting, when we were doing the regional meetings, so the count was about 25 in the month of April. That by that time, already at 25 places we decided to do this function. Now it's the month of May, and that number has gone up almost up to 50. So in 50 different, I will say, school districts of United States, we are doing this function. We have just planted a small we have just sown the seeds of a small plant here today. Next year, I think so that this function will be held with all your cooperation somewhere in a big auditorium where we might be having hundreds of teachers coming from all across the universities and schools, especially with the middle schools and the elementary schools and high schools. So as we see here, that we see the elementary schools here, we see the college going students here, but still that middle level, high school level students and teachers, we need to make some more efforts to get them in. Secondly, I would like to thank our Arjun Shakha, the chapter which is doing this particular event. That chapter is called as Arjun Shakha. Like Arjun Shakha, we have about 140 different chapters throughout the country. And Arjun Shakha team has done this function over here. So these volunteers, they have done real hard work to get it done. And I wanted to thank the whole team of Arjun Shakha for a successful event. Thank you very much. Thanks very much to the